I grew up, my family, my uncles and everyone was very tough.
Have you ever been in a situation when you've done anything illegal? Elaborate on that. This is
Somebody can make 20 grand today, and in 1 month the 20 grand is finished.
Exactly. You only live on 60% of your salary.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I've started investing very young. So I've got a lot of giving. I've got shares in a lot of companies.
Yeah. It's your boy Christian Bless, and you're watching my Greater Self series, The BOY2MEN with Cedricsure. And we need to understand something. It's so important in life to, yes, want to be great and want to make money and want to be a great influencer, but often leadership starts at home. And leadership for a man starts with his relationship with his father. Now, there's many of us out there who probably didn't grow up with their dad. Like for me, one of the things that makes me so passionate about these topics is because my dad passed away when I was 1 year old. And I grew up most of my life just with my sisters. You know, I was the only guy in the house. I had my sisters, I had my aunties, and I had my grandma. But during that time, they helped me so much. But I remember there was a particular time when I was a teenager, I was thinking to myself, what does it actually mean to be a man? Because the representation of being an adult always came from a feminine side, came from my sisters, my mothers, and my aunties. But I never had that experience coming from a man. And it's so important for young guys that's out there to also understand the value and the importance that they play as a man and being a strong role model. You know, because for me, when I was looking for that person and I couldn't find it, I had the option to find that in the streets. But fortunately, I was able to find a role model through my uncle, who was a pastor, who helped me to understand that being a man is not just about chasing girls, it's not just about being a player or chasing money. Being a man has to do with having character. Being a man has to do with managing your family. Being a man represents taking care of business. And on today's program, we want to talk about the relationship between a father and a son, and how can you as a man nurture that relationship between a father and a son? Because the common denominator in knife crime between London and Scotland isn't race. Because in Scotland, in Edinburgh, there is a lot of knife crime, but the common denominator is a lack of male figures. So what can we do as a community to equip, to support, to empower our men of today to recognize the value that they play in their children's lives? Because yes, fathers are important. Having a male role model is important. And if we can discuss this, we can create a better society. Let us know what you think. Do not forget to comment, to like, and to subscribe, and share your thoughts as well on this particular topic. You're watching my Greater Self, the BOY2MEN series with Cedricsure. It's your boy Christian Bless, and today we are in a different setting. We are at the home of the Chief Executive Officer, the man himself, Cedric. How are you doing, brother?
I'm good, bro.
You know, thank you for inviting me in your home.
You're welcome.
You know, this feels good. This feels a bit like how Oprah felt when she interviewed Meghan Markle. We are in the mansion of the boss himself. Like, how are you, man? How does it feel like
I'm good.
Filming here in your home?
It feels different than the office. Like I can, dress down and be comfortable. It's good.
You know what? People often see the office Cedric. You know, they see the businessman Cedric. Today we want to find out more about the person Cedric. So, how would you describe you? How would you describe Cedric to those who are listening?
Cedric is a humble person, loyal person, considerate person. I do my best to be as nice as I can. I know I'm not nice every day, but I do my best to be as nice as I can. And I'm a helper, I'm a giver, I'm a follower.
So you're not ashamed to say you're a follower?
No.
Yeah.
You have to follow. I told you need a mentor. Like, I follow my mentors. I take advice. I've got my uncle as well. I listen to my uncle a lot because my uncle like life advice. My
Yeah.
uncle would tell me, look, son, if I was you, this is how I would do it. Like I have people that I know, I can pick up my phone and call and say, listen, this is what's going on. How do I deal with it? So I'm a follower as well, yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Now, for those who are watching us for the first time, so this program, what we try to do is help you become the greatest version of yourself. We believe that in each and every single one of you, there's a God-given ability and a God-given talent. And sometimes in life, we are sometimes led by so many noise that's happening around us that we fail to discover who we truly are. So that's why today I thought, let's take it personal. Let's go away from the office. Let's go to your home and find out more about how do you build your foundation at home in order to achieve what you're doing outside. So I want us to focus more about your relationship with your son. You mentioned that the one thing that helped you achieve everything that you achieve now was your relationship with your son. And they see that in the UK, in London and in Scotland, they say that the common denominator in knife crime is the lack of male figures. So before we go into your son, how was your relationship with your father? What would you say that, how did that influence or impact you?
Growing up, there's things that I picked up, habit that I picked up from my father. Like my father was a he's not, I was, because he's still alive.
Yeah.
He's a hard working man. Like my father was always leaving the house early and coming back late. And he was going to work. He wasn't coming to eat at home except on the weekend.
Yeah.
So I think that's one thing that I picked up from him.
Yeah.
My father was always going to work, provide and things like that. So that's one thing I picked up from him.
Would you say that you still have the same relationship? Because a lot of people, they don't really have a good relationship with their fathers. They complain that it's more their mothers that talk to them, that support them, that are there with them. And often that's because their fathers, you know, deadbeat dads often use the excuse that, you know, I never had that relationship with my father, so I can only replicate what I've learned. So would you say that you had that relationship with your father when you were growing up?
Yeah, when I was growing up, I had a good relationship with my dad.
Yeah.
He was around, so
yeah.
I've seen him all the time and all that.
Yeah.
And at some point, he wasn't the same.
Yeah.
But the thing with me is, when something negative happened to me, I don't use it as an excuse to affect others.
Yeah.
I use it as a tool to do better.
So talk to me now about you and your son. So he's the guy that when he was born, you mentioned he was a Baba Tunde.
Yeah, that came and told me that the old Cedric needs to die.
The whole Cedric needs to die.
Yeah.
So tell me, what is your technique? What are you trying to do in order to build and develop your son? And what can other people do as well in order to do the same thing?
The thing is, with my son, the thing we have in common is like, every morning I drop him to school myself.
Okay.
I make sure that when he wakes up, when they get him ready, I spend a bit of time with him. I can come for breakfast when they're having breakfast, or after breakfast we have like 20 minutes before he goes to school, where we talk, we play, we talk about the day before.
Yeah.
How was your day? Blah blah blah. I ask him questions, and with my son, the thing is, I pick up when he's not happy.
Okay.
So when he's not happy, I will ask him, is it something to do with school?
Yeah.
Or when I say, let's go to school, his body language will tell me that I don't really want to go today. So I'll have a conversation with him. And sometimes during the day, I can call him a few times. And what I've done with my son is he understands that he's not going to see me often.
Yeah, because I was thinking of that. Because you're in the office all the time.
Yeah.
You are working. You are literally a 24/7 machine. Literally.
Yeah. What happened is, okay, when my son was young, there was a time I remember he wasn't seeing me a lot, and he was complaining like, I miss you, I want to see you. So I took him to the office to him to see, and then I was like, one day this is gonna be yours. But you want it? He said, yeah. I said, but Daddy needs to work hard. But what I do is I compromise. Like my son, like on the Fridays, well now everything we're on lockdown, so everything is closed. But when things are open, on a Friday, I tend to finish early. That was before lockdown, so I come and I take the whole family for dinner.
Yeah.
So we go and eat, spend time, talk. Saturday we do activities. Before I used to take him boxing or sports. That's the time where I know that I talk to him a lot.
I remember actually just on that. I remember there was one day. I don't know if we were filming something. Or
Yeah,
what
yeah,
was
it was
happening.
in a gym. It was in a gym.
Yeah.
He was doing boxing.
And not even that. Remember one day we were filming something, and then you told me. I said, Cedric, bruv, I need you on this particular day.
Oh, yeah.
And you were like, Christian, this is the time for my children.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, Cedric.
Yeah,
You're
I
like,
remember.
I don't compromise that time. It's the time for me and my children.
Yeah, yeah.
So are you saying that as a father, it's important you have to be intentional. Like you have to be intentional in the time that you allocate for your children, because children often say, you know what, my dad was there, but he was never there. Yes, he bought me this, he bought me that, but he was never there. Like, how do you overcome that?
The thing is, a child will only say that if the child cannot talk to you. My son can talk to me. If I see that my son is calling me a lot during the day, I will pick up. I'll say, what's going on? I'll FaceTime him. We have a conversation. When he had a bad day, he's like, I really need to talk to my dad. So like nanny or the mum will text me, oh, Peter is looking for you and all that. And I'll make sure I'm available. So I speak to him when I feel like he really needs me. But then what I do, he understands that Monday to Friday he's not seeing me. Friday, sometimes we do what we call movie night. So he spend time with me, we watch a movie, pizza, like family time. Saturday, activities. Sunday, church, activities. And what I do now, like I get my uncles, my auntie, the family comes. My cousins, everyone come. And we just cook, we chill, the kids play. So he bond with his cousins as well. And yeah, and then Monday I go again.
So what you're saying is, so like, you said one of the reasons why children often say that about the parents is because there's no communication.
Yeah. Listen, somebody can be present in his kid's life physically, but you're actually, when I say it was there but you were not there, it's because when your child cannot talk to you, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
But me with my son will be like, oh, Dad, what are we doing there? And I'll tell him, how is school? I always tell him that, you see everything we have today, because Dad worked hard. So I want you to go to school, so tomorrow, when you take over, you can be better than me. Like, I have those conversations. We talk about cars. I talk to my son. My son will be like, so what do you do? If you ask my son, what does your dad do? My son will tell you, my dad does insurance. My dad help people protect their finances. My dad run a company. My son knows my assistant, my staff. Like, he knows some of the managers, you know, he knows that those are my uncles. So it's kind of in a business. But what I do with my son, one thing that triggered that is good is that he knows that he will always get what he needs.
Yeah.
Not what he wants necessarily. What he wants, I set up challenges.
Okay.
But what he needs, he'll always get that.
So you choose not to spoil him?
I spoil him, but with a challenge.
Okay.
Like, for example, there was a time in school, I think it was a different number. The yellow, green, some numbers. The best one was gold.
Okay.
And it was 2 steps away from gold. And I can't remember what he asked me then, but it was a bit expensive. Then I was like, you get to gold, I buy it for you. 2 months later, it was on gold.
Okay.
And when I dropped him in school, I told the teacher, how long would it take for him to be on gold? She said about 6 months. It took him 2 months.
Wow.
Because I told him it's going to take you about 6 months. He said, Dad, I'll do it quicker. So what he was doing when he was coming back home, he was reading more, he was doing more. It was working, but you can see that he's working for something. And yeah.
So, you know, I really like what you said there. So it seems like on one side you say you make sure that you take him to school every single day.
Yeah.
So you don't allow your busy schedule to
Stop the school run.
To stop the school run. So that moment that you have really is important. You make sure that the weekends, these are the times where you really spend time with him.
Yeah.
And you also make sure that communication is key.
Yeah.
Just on that as well. So this is important. So this is the reason why we want to say this, because there might be a guy watching and maybe he has a bad relationship with his son, or he doesn't talk to his children. So if he can know that, listen, you can have 200 people that you manage, but you still give time for your family. Yeah. What do you think of the Bible verse that says that a man who doesn't take care of his family is worse than a pagan? What's your thoughts on that?
Okay. To an extent, I disagree with it, and I'll tell you why. Taking care of the family is very wide. Do you get what I'm trying to say? To me, what I'll say is, because sometimes as well, you need to understand that circumstances for some men, let's say, for example, I got friends that have children and the mom doesn't want him to see the child. That's difficult for the dad. Do you get what I'm trying to say? That's a situation where the dad will be like, okay, how do I manage this? And sometimes it brings stress, and sometimes the dad will be like, look, do you know what? Whenever the situation will be better, I'll be there. But until then, there's not much I can do.
But do you think that's really an excuse though, Cedric? Like, cause
it's a fact. Like, if you can't see your child, what are you gonna do?
I know, but then there's some parents, they'll be like, you know what, I'll die for my children. But if the wife said, I know people have circumstances, yeah, but I'm trying to say, do you think that in some circumstances that men can do more? You can always
There is circumstances where men can do more, but there's other circumstances where men cannot do more.
Okay.
And sometimes when he can't do more, he can't. Like, everyone needs to compromise.
Okay.
You know, sometimes, okay, let's say you want to do more and you get in trouble with the law.
Yeah.
Because you want you to do more.
Yeah.
Some men, for example, they say you can't be 100 meters away, close to the house.
Yeah.
You have to go to court. It takes time, all these things.
Yeah.
And then you're in a position where you can't see your children. Like, it can happen. I'm not blaming every man.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is when a man can do something and choose not to do something, that's where the problem is. That's my opinion. So there's two types. But with me, myself, I'm fortunate because I'm with the kids, I see my family and all that. I've got everyone around me. So I'm very, very fortunate. But the one thing I'll say is I want to be friendly with my kids. I don't want my kids to feel like I'm not approachable. I'm a very tough guy. With my son, I'm tough. My son, like, when he's really going off, he get a little whooping. Yeah. You know, like, I don't play with that. And he understand. When I whoop him after, I ask him, do you know why I did it? He's like, yeah, I know. And I explain and I say, please make sure you don't do that again because you're going to make me unhappy. Or something, sometime when he's very naughty, I'll be like, okay, no access to the toy room. I lock the toy room. And I put all his toys, everything. He has a watch, like whatever the watch is. But it's a nice watch, so I just take it away from him. And that, you'll be like, oh my God. Now, he will do everything to get his watch back. So like, you have to find ways. Okay. So you still have to have a tough side where he understands that, okay. But as a boy, if I'm not, God forbid, but if I'm not there tomorrow, I want him to know that he will take over. Like, I give him values. Yeah. As much as I can. Yeah.
Just on that again. So it seems like obviously you're really providing your son with a lot of discipline and stuff like that. And one of the things that I don't have children yet, but one of the things that I'm very careful and I'm concerned about is that we live in London, and the level of knife crime in London is high. You know, like obviously now because of the pandemic, you're not really hearing all these knife crime taking place, but in normal times, every single week, if you read the Evening News Standard, there's always someone that's been stabbed. So for you, I mean, how do you manage what do you do to safeguard your son from being either a victim of it or falling into that trap?
Okay, my personal opinion is the problem with knife crime is because mom and dad are working. Kids are on their own. There's no one to supervise the children at some point. So what happens is the children are exposed to the street. Yeah. And also a certain neighborhood. Yeah. When the kids go home, you know, in a certain neighborhood, when you go downstairs, it's drug dealing, it's this, it's that, it's, you know, certain things happen. And kids, when they see that, sometimes they think that's the life. Now, as parent, and that's me being honest, one have to make sacrifice.
One of the parents have to make the sacrifice?
Yeah.
Okay.
To make sure that the kids are looked after. Or have a nanny. Somebody that, and then with the nanny, they do activities. Especially when the nanny drives, it's easy. They go to school, they finish school, they swimming. They go there, they do this, they do that. Like, there's certain things that they do. And when they do those things, it's just about making sure they're away from the street.
So would you say that, were you in the streets before you had this life that you have today? Because remember last time I mentioned to you, listen guys, Cedric used to have this LL Cool J persona. I'm telling you, the Cedric you see today isn't the one that I've seen the pictures. I've got the receipts. So I know that you probably didn't. You never had. You wasn't born with a silver spoon. You know, you came from somewhere. So, what's your background?
I wasn't born here. I was born in Congo. So,
Kinshasa or
Brazzaville.
Brazzaville.
But the thing is, it's different cultures.
Okay.
And I grew up. My family, my uncles, and everyone was very tough with me.
Okay.
Even my mother. When I grew up, when I was in school, I was not allowed to be second.
Okay.
When I was second, I was getting a whooping from my mother.
Wow.
Yeah, so I had to be first.
Okay.
So I was always fighting for first place. And with my mom would pick up when I was doing something bad, or when I was being naughty, or when something was wrong, she would pick it up. And my mom used to come sometime, like, she'll be like, tell me what's in your room before I search.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, nothing, mom. She said, okay, get out. And she would search the room. If she find one funny thing, you're in trouble.
Okay.
So I had that, you know, that background where you were not allowed to play. So you were not allowed to.
So you never done drugs?
When I came here, things changed. Because now, you know, you have freedoms. Yeah. Look, was I on the street? I won't say I was on the street. I would say I was a hustler. I was always making sure I was making means to always have enough money to look after myself and to help my family.
I don't know if I can ask this question.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna ask it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is like, this is not Oprah Winfrey. This is Christian Bless. So, would you say that when you were hustling, have you ever been in a situation when you done anything illegal? The reason why I asked that is because there are people, there are young guys nowadays, they're doing illegal stuff because they feel like they have a responsibility to look after themselves and look after their family. So I just want to find out, did you have that? And was you able to, and how was you able to overcome doing illegal activity? Okay.
The thing is, yes, like everybody, at some point you just touch some things that, you know, you shouldn't be touching or doing. But then what happened with me is I never wanted that life. I've always said to myself, I never wanted to get in trouble. So I went to uni.
Okay.
You know, I was studying. When I finished, I had a job, I work. And then this opportunity came. And because I've always wanted financial freedom, I said to myself, this is what I want. So I just dropped everything.
So you're trying to say that, in other words, gaining financial freedom, or let me put it this way. Most people tend to go for things that are negative in order to, they think that would answer some of their financial problems. But what you're saying is you made a decision that you didn't even want to pursue that because you thought you can take ownership of your own financial journey.
The thing is, sometimes as well, okay, let's say you do something bad. There is a time where you can transform it into something good. You can get the negative to positive, but then it's a choice. Then it's also knowledge, it's also financial discipline. There's a lot of things that come in place, you know. A lot of people, somebody can make 20 grand today, and in 1 month the 20 grand is finished.
Exactly.
And when you're asking what you've done with the money, that is nothing tangible.
Yeah.
Clubbing, girls, life, this and that. Do you save? Do you invest? Like, are you trying to buy shares? Are you trying to, I don't know, start a business, open a store? There's a lot of things people can do.
That's good. That goes straight to my point, actually, because to let people know, obviously we're here in Cedric's house, and this is a mansion. It's a massive house, and I'm going to tell you why I'm going this direction. Obviously, this is his garden. Now I need to see it, but if you walk down his garden, walk down 5 minutes down his garden, there's a lake. Not only is there a lake, there's also a place like a football pitch. So there's and there's another shed all the way at the back. So his garden is already five minutes long. And his house, so Cedric, you are blessed. For me, it's like, we spoke about your son. We spoke about, you know, safeguarding and stuff like that, and making sure that you're in the right path. And then here you mentioned about having the right financial discipline. So what kind of what kind of skill, what habits does one need to have in order to maintain that financial discipline in order to get them to this level?
It's very simple. What I've always done or did my best to do, I always have to do my best to live on only 60% of my income.
You only live on 60%?
I have to. Well, now I live on less than that. I live on probably, I don't know, 30% of my income. Yeah, you have to. And the rest has to be invested. Invested into the business. I invest more money in the business than in myself.
Okay.
Listen, one thing I want to tell you is this. People look at Cedric today, but this is 11 years of hard work, bro.
Wow.
This is 11 years of investing, buying this, making sure the money is okay, making sure the family is okay, making sure my kids don't like anything, making sure my business is flowing. This is not something that started yesterday. So sometimes people, I always say that to people, like, listen, I went through a path, like it was a journey. It didn't start like that. So I used to save. I save a lot, even before my son was born. I remember when I started working in insurance, I called the account unborn child. And I was saving money for something that wasn't even, I didn't even know his mum then.
Even before your son was born, you were saving for him already? I
called it the unborn child.
The unborn child account?
Yeah. I opened an account and I started putting money there.
Okay, let's go through this because I think this is very important. So you said one, you only live on 60% of your salary. Yeah. Yeah. And even now is even less. Yeah. So at least 40% you either invest it or you save it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What other financial thing could you give? What other things would you say in terms of?
Look, buy shares in companies. I do that. I'm not saying everybody will do that at work, but you need to invest your money. Okay. Because when you put your money in a saving account, the bank doesn't give you anything good. Okay. You can have. I have an emergency account. I have a saving account. I have my children's savings account. I have a personal saving account.
Wait, say that again. You've got an emergency account.
Emergency saving account, investment account, my kids' saving account.
What's the difference between an emergency saving account and an investment account?
Okay, let's say somebody come and ask me for something that he has an emergency. It's not my emergency. Yeah. But it's something that I know I can do, or it's something that is important. Yeah. I'll give money from the emergency account, not from my money.
So every month you allocate some money to go there. Yeah. Okay.
But it's not even, I don't do it myself. It goes on standing orders. Okay. On all my account, I have a certain amount. Okay. That goes on all those savings accounts. Even my business has a reserve account. Okay. Yeah. You have to have that because if you make money, you spend the money, you're not going to go anywhere. You have to save money in a way that you can live for a certain times, whether you can work or not.
Okay, let's just get this right. So there's a savings account, there's an investment account, then you've got your children's account. Yeah. So before we go into your children's account, the investment account. Yeah. So this is money that goes there in case there's an opportunity for you to invest.
Yeah. Let's say somebody called me and said, oh, you know what, there's a house there, blah, 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 a house that we can flip. Then I say, okay, how much? Boom, and then we buy, we flip it. Okay. And then we make quick money. Then that money go back in the investment account.
And then after that, you've got your children's account and... So that's like
2 kids account.
2 kids. So that's like 4 accounts personal.
No, that's savings though. That is not even an account that I touch. Wow. Yeah. I've got a main account, a current. Yeah. But yeah.
And then you said in your business.
Yeah. I have a reserve account.
You have a reserve account. Yeah. So this is for like.
Let's say the business. Let's say there's a problem. I know that. Okay. Let's say I need more money that I have in my current. I have a reserve account.
But then, so that 40%, so when you talk about living only in your 60%, yeah. So that 40% is what goes into those savings account.
It's a little bit more now.
Okay.
Yeah, it used to be 40, but now it's more. Basically, with me, the more money I make, the more money I save and invest. It's not like the more money I make, the more money I play. No.
So it's not the more money you...
Like, for example, a lot of my dividend pay for my lifestyle. Now, yeah. I don't pay for my lifestyle with my money. I pay for my lifestyle with dividend.
Elaborate on that. This is important.
I've started investing very young. So I've got a lot of dividend. I've got shares in a lot of companies. Yeah. I don't know if it's proper to say, but I'm not just going to say. But I've got shares in probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 companies. Okay. Yeah, I've got shares in about 9 companies. So every year I get a certain dividend. That's what feed my lifestyle.
So wait, are you telling me this is real financial value that we're getting here? Yeah. So are you telling me that your lifestyle isn't
It's not filled with my salary.
It's not with your salary.
No, with my dividend.
With your dividends.
Yeah.
Wow.
My salary is to look after. That's where the money for saving will go. That's where, I don't know, pay for certain things, food and all that. But the lifestyle, let's say, the cars, the extras, the little funny things that I do, is my dividend.
So in that case, in that sense that, you know, because some people, their salary is, that's what pays for their car, that's what pays for their watches, that's what pays for the bling.
Yeah.
But no. Your dividends pays for that.
Yeah. But let me tell you one thing. Like when I started, I didn't have the watches. I didn't have the cars. I had a normal car. I was like, until I get to a certain level, I'm not buying any expensive car. So I had to get to a certain level financially. Then I said to myself, now I can afford this, now I can afford that, now I can afford this, now I can afford that. I don't do things just because people will say do it, or other people are doing, or a friend of mine is doing it. Nah, I don't move like that. You do it, that's your time. If it wasn't your time, you're making a mistake. I do it when I feel like, okay, I bought the Bentley, for example, when I built 2 regions. So I had 2 regions coming out of me. I knew that I'll make more money. So I'll gift myself a new car. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But I wouldn't have done it if I didn't build regions.
You know what? I read the book actually that was talking about how you are your own servant and you are your own boss.
Yeah.
So in other words, as your boss, you need to find what incentive can you give the servant in order to work more, in order to achieve your objective.
Yeah.
So in other words,
on that one, I'll tell you one thing. I don't even give myself that kind of challenge. I give my team. I tell them, you do X, Y, Z, this is what I can do for you.
Okay.
So that way, when they achieve their goal, automatically I reward them and I reward myself. Because the plot has grown.
Yeah.
So I don't come to me.
Yeah.
Because if it's about you, anything can get you tired.
Yeah.
If it's about somebody else, it won't get you tired.
That is true. That is true. It's true. Because it's like, because it's interesting because I've got a business that I've started, and I was even looking to buy myself a car by the end of the year. And I thought to myself, but I know that, yes, I want to do it, but if I buy myself a car, in September, October, you know what, another priority might come. But if I allow my team to achieve their goal, and once they achieve their goal, then their success will also make my success, then it's motivating the whole
You have to be a
cause.
selfless leader. If you're not a selfless leader, you become a selfish leader. Then they see you win, they're not winning with you. That's a problem.
We all need to win together.
Yeah. I always say that to myself. When somebody around me is not winning, I pull you out and say, yo, you're supposed to win. I want to see you win. And I'll tell you, this one just came and is winning more than you. Let's go and win. What can we do? What can we change? You have to have your eyes everywhere. You have to.
So to finish this off here, if there was 3 things, you could give as principle to financial literacy, because in school, they teach us algebra, they teach us different hypotheses, they teach us all this stuff, but they don't teach us financial literacy. If there was 3 or 4 keys that you would give in having good financial literacy, what would it be? Financial success, what would it be?
You have to be disciplined with your money. You have to spend after saving.
Spend after saving.
Yeah. Don't save. Don't spend, then you want to save. Because you won't end up saving. So you save first, then you spend. And also, the last thing I'll probably say, set up standing orders. Don't make it that you have to go and send the money. Set up an amount. Say, look, every month I want to save 100, 200, 500, 1,000, 3 grand, whatever you can. But then set it up as a standing orders. So it's like a direct debit. It leaves your account to go to another account. And don't go to that account to take that money back to the main account. That's discipline. So every month, save, then spend. But save to do something tangible. Start a business, buy shares, something that can give you more money. That's a free thing. That's a free principle. One, don't leave. Do your very best to live on at least 60%. I mean, it depends how much you earn as well. 60, if you count 80, but after 80, the last 20, 10% has to be in your saving. It's compulsory.
That's really powerful stuff, guys. If you want more financial advice, financial mentorship with the team, with the team, I'm gonna associate myself with the team. Contact us. This is just the initial tips that we're given, but there's so much more that we can go further. Cedric, I want to thank you for today, because we can go for another hour, because there's so much more that I want to say there. But I'm sure you guys were truly blessed with that, because one of the reasons why us as black people sometimes never go beyond our level is because the lack of financial wisdom, the lack of financial literacy, the lack of sharing generational wealth, teaching our children from the beginning. And my good friend Cedric has proven that he's been doing this with himself, with his team, and also with his sons. Listen, let us know what you think. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe. If you want more coaching, you want mentorship, you want to understand how can you build this in your business, in your world, we're going to assist you. Reach out to us and let us know. It's your boy Christian Bless, Cedric. I'll see you guys again next time. Awesome. Say that again. Mindset is a tool that will help you gravitate into people's memory.
Listening is an art on its own. Yeah, I started doing this job because my cousin had cancer. I blame myself in a way for not being on top of the game to help somebody.